Okay, so hello, Beverly.
Hello, Tina.
Thank you so much for joining me for this little interview. Um, Thank you for taking the time out of your day to help me with this and, ultimately helping me to help others. So I'm really grateful that you're here. I would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine.
Um, I'd like to begin by asking you to share what your life was like before joining Slim for Life program.
Well, I was always a chubby child. I was chubby all my life. I did several programs to lose weight, like Weight Watchers, Terry Ann's 1, 2, 3, Slim Pod. Um, I just tried just about everything. And I would lose a bit of weight and then it would come back on twice as much. And then that was back again. And I think, oh no, I'm never going to be slim. I'm just going to be a fat person all my life. So,
Oh,
and
so
then
you were
it came along.
yo-yoing.
Sorry?
So you were yo-yoing.
Yes, continuously yo-yoing. I had a wardrobe that sort of ranged from size 14 to size 18 or 20. And it would just, I thought, well, I'll just buy cheap clothes because when I get to my goal, I will buy nice clothes.
Yeah, good, good. So what made you decide to join Slim for Life program?
Well, when I saw it advertised, I thought that sounds better than everything else I've done. And then when I had my little interview with you, I thought, oh, yes, that really does sound a lot better. And I thought, if you're allowed to eat anything you like in a half portion, then it doesn't mean I have to cut out chocolate and my glass of wine on a Saturday night and things like that. And I thought, well, I think I could manage that. so
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons I joined.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, no foods or drinks are taboo as long as you have them in a smaller portion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to deny yourself anything to release the weight. So wonderful. What were your biggest struggles with weight loss before? You said you yo-yoed from a size 14 to a size 20, but what were the biggest struggles?
I would lose a few pounds and then I don't know, I would binge on chocolate or I would start eating biscuits, have a cup of tea and a biscuit. And at work, when I was working in an office, be birthdays and there would be cake. And there was always somebody having a birthday. So there was usually cake most days, or at least 2 or 3 times a week. And you couldn't really say no. So it was just one of those things and then somebody would say, oh, let's go for a drink at lunchtime. And off we'd go for a drink. And then there'd be crisps and nuts. And then when I stopped working, I still had the crisps and nuts and the chocolate and the cream cakes.
Yeah,
so and my partner spoils me as well. So he used to
nothing
bring
wrong with
me
that.
he used to bring me cream cakes as well. And I kept saying to him, I'm going to get fat. And he says, well, I love you whatever you look like. So how could I
Which
say
is
no?
lovely.
Yeah, it is, but not very good for me.
So, so how has a Slim for Life 10-step program helped you?
Well, the weight I have released, I've managed to keep off. Although it's going quite slowly, but that could be to do with my age, because I'm 72, I'm almost 73, and it's been there a long time. So I know wasn't going to come off overnight. So, but I'm quite happy with the way it's going.
Good. What's happened there? I seem to have, oh, there we go. Something went wrong there. Hope we can get that edited out. So sorry. You said your weight loss is going slowly at the moment, but you think that could be to do with your age.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'll be 73 in June, and I've been chubby all my life. So I think but it is coming off, and I've got slim thighs for the first time in my life.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah.
that's a big thing. I mean, I was asking you, how the Slim for Life program has helped you. Um, you just told me you're 72 coming up to 73. Um, Honestly, Beverly, you look so youthful.
Thank you.
So much. I'm actually quite shocked to hear that because you look
I know.
you look amazing.
I know Leo was as well when I told her. And she said to me, oh, no, you don't. Because she said, I went to the same primary school as her husband. And she said, I said, oh, what year was he there? And she said, oh, I think he started there in 66. So I said, oh, I was in primary 7 in 63. And she went, oh, I said, I'm nearly 72. And she went, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
That was a year ago. So I'm nearly 73.
Yeah. You do look amazing. You look very youthful. But this is one of the, if you like, I believe one of the side effects of Slim for Life, because your mind and your body become tuned into the foods and drinks that your body needs and away from those that it doesn't need. And, you know, you are just testimony to what the program does. Releasing excess weight, of course, but there is much more to releasing weight than diets and deprivation and all that goes with it. And in some cases, it's actually important to eat more of the right things.
Yes.
And looking at you, I think that's what you're doing. So
I think so, yes. I eat very healthily. I don't eat a lot of red meat now. It's mostly fish and chicken. But I do have the occasional steak, like we had a steak for Valentine's. But I have a very small portion, and I kept half of mine for the following day, or the day after, actually. And sometimes I have chips, but we could do them in the air fryer, so they're not fried in fat or anything. I don't have any fried food at all.
yeah.
I eat a lot of salad. I eat a lot of vegetables. We make our own soup. We live very healthily. So
yeah. So would you say, as a result of Slim for Life, you are more drawn to those foods that would be obviously naturally good for you?
yes. And when we had the program about the colours, because I'm quite a colourful person, I like to wear lots of bright colours, and I like to have a bright plate of food because it looks more appetizing. So I'll have cucumber and tomatoes and something orange peppers or something, and an omelette, and everything's nice and bright.
Yeah. But of course, the mind and the body feeds off the bright colors as well. So just absolutely wonderful. So Beverly, do you mind me asking you, what specific results have you achieved?
Well, I've released about 3 stone, I think. I don't weigh myself now. And I've dropped 4 dress sizes so far.
Wonderful.
Almost 5, because I can get into a size 12 top, but not a size 12 bottom yet. But I will eventually.
Amazing result. Would you say that there have been other benefits as well as going down the dress sizes, the scales showing a huge difference?
Yes, I move a lot more. I don't just sit in my chair and read a book or go on Facebook. I go out in the fresh air. We go for a nice long walk. And it's quite hilly where we live. So I'm going up and down hills, and I'm managing them much better now. Before I would be halfway. I can't make it to the top. But now I can.
Wonderful.
And there is a very steep hill sort of just down the road here, which I'm going to try next. I've never been able to get up that one, but it is very, very steep. But I'm going up now. I only stopped twice the last time we did it. So I'm going to try and get to the top. But I'll keep trying.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful progress. So you hear me say a lot of the time, that the feeling is the secret to everything. How do you feel now compared to before starting Slim for Life?
I feel great. I feel like I can do anything. I used to think, well, I can't do much sport because I've never been a very sporty person, and I was chubby and I was terrible when we did gym at school. I couldn't get over the horse, and I couldn't do a forward roll. The only one thing I could do was a backward roll. I was the only one in the class that could do that. And the girls at school, when they picked their teams, I was always the last one to be picked. And I was quite happy about that. I thought I'd rather sit and read a book anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But now
So
I'm quite happy to go out for a nice long walk.
yeah, yeah. So you weren't a naturally sporty person.
No.
You definitely weren't naturally sporty as a child, and yet your agility. I remember in the early days when you were achieving a low number of steps, let's say, and yet
Yes.
more recently you're averaging how many a day?
8,000 a day now. Trying to get up to 9.
Yeah.
But as the weather gets better, it'll be nice, nice longer walks.
Oh, it's so exciting. So exciting to hear this. Thank you. What surprised you about the program? I know you said that you hadn't done hypnosis before, but what surprised you about doing the Slim for Life program?
Well, the hypnosis surprised me because I thought, oh, I don't know what hypnosis is. I know you listen to somebody talking to you and it's supposed to make you, well, I'd done Slim Pod, and they had a 9-minute program in the evening. You listened to it before you went to bed. But he said the same thing every night, and it was just the same thing every night. And at the end, I could recite it, and I thought, well, this isn't working for me. And I thought, oh, I hope this isn't going to be the same as Slim Pod. But no, it was different. I listened to it, but sometimes I would fall asleep. But I would still remember what had happened.
Yes.
I thought, I don't understand how this works, but it does seem to work. It seems to become ingrained in your brain, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Yes, the way the way hypnosis works is directly with the subconscious part of the mind to create the changes that you want to make. And as you listen through the program, I mean, it is 10 steps, as you know. You listen to each step for 7 days before moving on to the next one. But each step of the Slim for Life program builds on the previous step. And it is the cumulative effect of the hypnosis that has taken you down 3 stones and 4, almost 5 dress sizes. And you may say that, this is slow for you at the moment. And is this because of your age? Does it really matter, Beverly? You've got the result. Does it matter the speed? I mean, this is an amazing result. It really is.
Thank you. I'm pleased with myself. Yes. I wish I'd met you earlier in my life.
Oh, I believe everything's in divine timing. Everything's meant to be. This is meant to be your time, Beverly.
I think so, yes. I suppose now I've got the time as well because I've retired and I can go out walking when I want to. I don't have to wait until I come home from work and, cook the tea and then go out for a walk.
Yes.
So yes. I suppose it is the right time for me.
Yes. And the health benefits, as you said, you were wheezy and, et cetera, when you were out walking, and now you're not, the health benefits.
Yes. Oh, I feel so much better. Well, I have an inhaler for emergencies just in case, but I very rarely use it. And I got one, I think it was just after COVID, and I've only just replaced it. So I've had it over 4 years, and I've only just replaced it. But that was because it had run out, and the air pressure was very high one day, so I was a bit breathless. And Bill said to me, "Have you got your air inhaler with you?" So I said, "Well, yes, I always carry it." So I had a couple of puffs, and I thought there's nothing in there. So I ordered a new one, but I haven't even used it yet.
Yeah, fabulous, fabulous. So in conclusion, would you recommend the Slim for Life program to others? And
definitely, definitely. If it worked for me, it'll work for anyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Can I just add one more question? At what age did you recognize that you were heavier than you would like to be?
Oh, well, I remember going to see a friend when I still lived in Belfast when I was under 11. And I was going around to see a friend who lived on the Ormo Road. And a boy went past on his bicycle and he said, "Hello, wee fat girl." And I thought it was funny, so I laughed. And then I thought about it and I thought, oh, I am a wee fat girl. And I've always been a wee fat girl.
From age 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Slim for Life has done for you is actually rewriting your mindset
Yes.
from pre-age 11.
Yes. I'm now not a wee fat girl anymore.
Certainly
I've got
not.
slim thighs now. And they
Yeah.
don't rub together.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful, Beverly. Absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you. Well, first of all, congratulations on your success. You know, nobody loves a success story like I do. Although actually the whole of the Slim for Life team, I'm going to say, love to hear success stories. You know, it's why we do what we do. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Slim for Life is about far more than what the scales say. And I think really what you've shared with me today, it just shows, you know, the changes that you've been able to make simply by listening to the hypnosis program through the 10 steps and then remaining committed to those changes.
Yes, and drinking more water as well. I never used to drink water.
And drinking more water as well. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, Beverly, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I really appreciate you sharing your story. I'm your biggest cheerleader now. I always have been. And honestly, I can't wait to hear you achieve a little more progress. You know, you said almost 5 dress sizes down. I really look forward to hearing that you are there.
Oh, I will be by the summer.
You're so close. You're so close. Yeah. So thank you very much indeed. I'll see you Monday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, Beverly.
Bye.